What is up guys, and welcome back to another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. It's your boy Solheim, and today we have a whole bunch of news regarding Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So I was just playing the beta as any other day, just having some fun, testing some things, testing things for my leveling rounds, my leveling strategy, and most importantly, testing out different things for my gold guide. If you haven't checked it out already, this is a gold guide that I made from scratch, containing 93 pages of pure gold making info. There's also a huge update coming out this weekend on Saturday, containing Wrath investments and what to do in phase 1, plus a whole bunch of extra stuff. Basically, there's a huge update coming out, there's a lot of info in the guide already, and by purchasing the guide you will get access to an exclusive Discord server with a really thriving community right now regarding gold making in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. If you're interested in making as much gold as possible in Wrath, then check out that guide through the link down below and use the code SOLHEIM to get it for 50% off. Okay, now let's talk about what happened today. This is like absolutely huge for Wrath, by the way. We have some huge news regarding the future of Wrath itself, and some things that are kind of, well, let's just take a look, okay? So here we go, going to scroll down, go to the web browser, and we're going to read off Wowhead. So we have a huge Wowhead poster right here. There's two different ones that I want to take a look at, so let's go and check out this one first. Tank and healer bonus rewards in dungeons include pets and mounts in Wrath Classic. So basically Mr. GM and Scotty J did an interview with Chris Searhut from the Classic WoW development team very recently, where they talked about, well, a lot of things about Wrath. And some of the questions that came up regarding stuff and things was something that I want to call Heroic Plus. So we're going to talk about that in the next post, but basically Heroic Plus is a place where you will get extra rewards from even more difficult heroics. If you are familiar with Mythic Plus from retail, it's something along the same lines that we'll talk about in a second. But basically another change coming in Wrath Classic will reward tanks and healers with bonus rewards from dungeons. This is nothing new. I think this was back in OG Wrath as well. It's been in several retail expansions, so basically when you queue up as a tank or a healer, you get a satchel of mystery goods that will give you additional things when you finish a dungeon. This came from the random dungeon finder, and even though that won't be there in Wrath, the healers and tanks will still get additional rewards for, well, being healers and tanks. And in Wrath Classic, these are mounts and pets. Also different things, but can include mounts and pets. So right here in the post you can see there's a small chance at some very rare mounts, such as Death Charger Reigns, aka the Baron Rivendare mount from the Stratholm. You also have the Swift White Hawk Strider from Kael'thas in Majesty's Terrace, and you have Reigns of the Raven Lord. I don't know how I feel about this, being able to get these rare mounts right here just for being a healer or a tank. It will definitely make more people have those mounts, and I think these should be kept as rare as they are. I mean, these mounts are rare for a reason, and I think having them is kind of a prestigious achievement right now, so getting them through additional ways will make it less prestigious, less of an achievement, and less of a feat of strength. Either way, let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. I guess the one thing that will be better this time around was that in TBC Classic we had a major tank shortage. I think that was also partly due to heroics being very difficult in TBC, and they were difficult and the rewards were terrible. You could literally do Karazhan, it was easier and gave you better gear. So tank shortage was a real thing, and this change right here might be done to combat that shortage. So the entire post here is basically talking about that and clarifying the loot itself. And let's go and check out the next one, because this is probably the huge one. Okay, so loot changes and Heroic Plus dungeons coming in Wrath Classic. In an interview with Mr. GM and Scotty J once again, they talked about different things, some massive news regarding how loot will change when Ulduar is released, aka the second phase of Wrath Classic, as well as Heroic dungeons gaining an additional challenge mode for better rewards. Let's talk about loot changes first. When Ulduar releases in phase 2 of Wrath Classic, loot that drops in 10-man raids from phase 1 will be replaced with loot that drops from 25-man raids from phase 1. Blizzard thinks that this will make the first tier of loot more interesting, so raiders will only need to go back to 10-mans once to get their raid loot. But what happens to the 10-man loot from the phase 1 raids? Well, Heroic plus dungeons. When Ulduar releases in Phase 2 of Wrath Classic, all 10-man loot from Phase 1 of Wrath Classic will be moved to Heroic Dungeons in a new version of the dungeon with an increased difficulty. Players will have the ability to increase the difficulty of Heroic Dungeons, granting the loot drops from 10-man Phase 1 raids. This is a significant change to Wrath Classic and explains the vague blue post that referenced Heroic Dungeons getting an additional challenge or challenges added to them. This is a blue post they made a long time ago, by the way, which we covered on this channel. So the second goal is about making sure Heroic Dungeons stay attractive throughout the entire expansion. The emblems and items they drop should always be valuable, even late in the expansion. They should also remain an interesting challenge throughout the entire expansion, rather than becoming excessively easy as your gear improves. We are exploring plans to add challenges to Heroic Dungeons as the expansion proceeds, which would also provide more valuable rewards. So even though this blue post doesn't really talk about it specifically, they are basically talking about the Heroic Plus dungeons here. They're talking about more difficult Heroic dungeons, better rewards from them, and keeping Heroic dungeons valuable, and they should be lucrative and valuable throughout the entire expansion. So instead of just farming them in Phase 1, you should always have a reason to farm them in Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, and even Phase 5. And the way they are looking to do that right now is by giving you better gear, and also making them more challenging. Basically, if you're familiar with the Mythic Plus content from retail, it is something along the same lines but modified to fit Classic. So when Ulduar comes out, you can get 10-man raids from Naxxramas, or 10-man raid loot from Naxxramas, by doing Heroic Plus dungeons. And I would imagine that when Phase 3 comes out, you can get 10-man loot from Ulduar through Heroic dungeons as well, and just rinse and repeat, so you get 10-man loot from the previous raid tier in those Heroic Plus dungeons. So this way, you can easily catch up with your alt. If you're looking to catch up in future raids or future phases, it's an easy catch-up mechanic coming in Wrath Classic. It will definitely be very different from what the game actually used to be back in the day, but this could actually be a good thing. I'm not really sure though, it's like very different. I don't really like messing with things unless they need to be fixed. It's different, I don't know what to think about it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. In other news, we are literally 5 days away from the expansion itself right now. Right here, it's exactly 5 days. I'm recording this at midnight. And yeah, the in-game timer here is a little bit off because I'm playing the beta. It's based on North American timers. But we're literally exactly 5 days away from the launch itself. That is insane. I'm playing as much as possible in the pre-patch right now to make sure that I have my levels and my characters set up, my profession set up, and my gold as well going into the expansion. Basically doing the final bit of Wrath prep. I'll be making a video on everything I'm doing, then my last minute prep for Wrath as well, coming up very soon, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that video. We're also doing a long ass stream when the Wrath comes out. We're basically leveling from 70 to 80 in one play session and one stream, so follow me on Twitch, the link is down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, let me know your thoughts on all the news down below in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace out, guys.